Look, I know James Harden was the man of the hour, and Joel Embiid always does his thing. But we gotta show love to Tyrese Maxey. This man is an assassin. You guys, the Philadelphia 76ers had such an interesting game tonight. The first half, let's call it what it is. It was rough around the edges. We stayed in the game. We didn't get too down on ourselves. There was a point where we were down by 15. We could have got down by 20, but the team continued to fight. Everybody continued to attack. Guys like Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, James Harden, Tobias Harris, Matisse Thybulle, those guys came to play. Those guys was attacking. Those guys was fighting through and through. And this game could have got out of hand early, but we didn't allow it. Shots wasn't really falling for us. We had too many turnovers in the first half. Ball security was terrible, especially on Joel Embiid's part. He had 4 turnovers. James Harden had 3. But despite all the dysfunction, despite all the mishaps, this Philadelphia 76ers team still found a way to win. That's a sign of a strong team. That's a sign of a talented team. That's the sign of a dominant team. And I'll give credit to the New York Knicks. They gave us all we could handle. Julius Randle came in and dropped 24 points. RJ Barrett was cooking, dropped 30 points. They had amazing first halves. I'm going to give them credit where credit is due. Emmanuel quickly came in, dropped 11 points. Dropped 11 points in 20 minutes. They gave us all we can handle. I'll give them that. But there's a difference amongst the guard. There's levels to this, if you know what I'm saying. So let's just call it what it is. Joel Embiid, 27 points, 12 boards, 2 blocks, 1 steal. James Harden, 26 points, 9 assists, 9 boards. Tobias Harris, 14 points, 7 boards, 2 blocks. Matisse Thybulle, 2 for 3 from the three-point line, 10 points, and 3 blocks on top of that. But Tyrese Maxey, he's the topic of conversation tonight. He has benefited the most from James Harden's presence. That's just a fact. Tyrese Maxey has been attacking. He's been shooting without regard for human life. He's just been taking advantage of the opponent. He doesn't care who's in front of him. His confidence is through the roof. That man, you couldn't even tell he's a second-year player. That man deserves most improved player of the year. That's a fact. Tyrese Maxey, he was exposing the entire arsenal. He had step back threes. He had this one play where he had this crazy step back top of the key, and he was just fearless through and through. Tyrese Maxey, man, he is going to be the X factor going into these playoffs. I know Tobias Harris needs to continue to develop in this offense with James Harden, and he's getting better and better. He's getting more and more comfortable. Tobias Harris had a moment where he passed up a wide open 3, and I did not like that. But luckily, I think Danny Green or Niang knocked the 3 down and was able to satiate that loss of production. But regardless, Tobias Harris, I want more from you. This team could be so much better, so much more potent. This offense could be so much more potent if Tobias Harris became more aggressive and he started knocking down more shots and actually forced contact, forced the issue. But overall, a really great win for this team. This team got tested early. It was a little rough around the edges. James Harden indicated that he had some early game jitters a little bit, showing out in front of those home fans. But now that we got that out of the way, best believe this team is going to continue to roll. The competition is only going to get more stiff. And I expect big things from this team. The bench, we need more from those guys. Korkmaz, completely non-existent, only played 5 minutes of the game, became a liability. Shake Milton, played 20 minutes, but only went 3 for 6, 6 points. Not enough scoring. Niang came off the bench and gave us 2 for 4 from the three-point line, 6 points. He had spidey threes that worked out for us. Danny Green, 2 for 5 from the three-point line, 6 points. We just need more scoring. Niang had the best plus minus off of the bench. He had a plus 10, where everyone else was in the negatives. Shake Milton was a plus 1, but not much of a difference maker. But Niang played good defense on RJ Barrett in that second half. He also played good defense on Julius Randle. Matisse Thybulle played great defense on Julius Randle and RJ Barrett. We pretty much shut those guys down in the second half, and their offense wasn't as potent as it was in the first half. But Joel Embiid needs to exercise more discipline. He got a little too emotional, got a little too emphatic in that first half. but that's the kind of stuff that's going to happen. And you're going to get tested. What's going to happen when you don't get the free throw whistle every night? How are you going to respond to that? Now, clearly, we didn't shoot nowhere near as many free throws as we did the game before. And again, what are you going to do when the whistle was not going in your favor? You got to stay composed. You got to stay focused. Joel Embiid, 11 for 13 from the free throw line. James Harden, 8 for 10 from the free throw line. Still great numbers for those guys, but nowhere near the numbers that we expect, especially for Joel Embiid. But regardless, this team had a great debut for James Harden. Again, James Harden was flirting with a triple-double. Joel Embiid had a double-double. Tyrese Maxey was just attacking. And I'm just super excited to see what this team does. We just dominated that second half. And, the sky is really only the view for this team. We still need some production from that bench. If we're going to be competing with these top teams in the East and in the West potentially, the starters are going to have to continue to be spectacular. But what happens when the starters have bad games? We're going to need people off the bench to step up. But those are just my initial thoughts. I want you guys to comment below and tell me what you think about this game against the New York Knicks. Tell me how you guys feel about the Philadelphia 76ers thus far. How was James Harden's coming out party in Philadelphia at the Wells Fargo Center? How do you guys feel about Tyrese Maxey? Come on, man. Mad Max is in the building. Joel Embiid. I want you guys to comment below. Tell me your ups, tell me your downs, tell me the good, tell me the bad, tell me the ugly. I want it all in the comment section right now. Make sure you guys smash that like button and share the content as well. And subscribe if you're new to the content. I'd be so grateful for that. If you guys like what you hear, like what you see, like the vibe, like the energy, hit that subscribe button. And it's straight like that, you guys. I'm your humble host, Tone DeShields II from Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. One love, stay humble, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay hungry.